It's holy matrimony, love wrapped in grace, honesty the cornerstone, openness embrace, transparency the power to make it through, Christ in the center, making all things new. Welcome to the base camp.
Your marriage was not created in the beauty and the perfection of the Garden of Eden. Your marriage was formed in a world at war. Covenant love makes a promise to love before it knows the outcome.
Preach. Because as long as divorce is a weapon, one of you will use it when you're backed into a corner.
Well, hey guys, welcome back to the Marriage Base Camp podcast. We are so glad that you have tuned in. My name is Robert, and I am here with the ever-loving, ever-talented, beautiful Shelly Khan, the only person in the world who can really tell me that I'm wrong and then somehow make me thank you for it.
Oh, yeah. Interesting. This is going to be a good podcast. Started out great.
Yeah. This podcast is going to be a little different, I think, from our normal ones. And what I mean by that is it's mostly going to be me talking.
Woohoo! No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Although you're going to feel free to at any point.
I'll jump in when I
jump in, say what you need to say. Correct. Tell me I'm wrong, and then I'll thank you for it.
There you go.
So let me start by asking you guys who are listening to this a question. All right. And by the way, if you're listening to this podcast with your spouse, maybe don't answer this out loud. Here's the question. Have you ever wondered, even for just a moment, did I marry the wrong person? So if you're alone, maybe just slip your hand up just a little bit. We'll see it. Don't worry.
We'll see it.
Maybe you had that thought. Did I marry the wrong person? Maybe it was after your first fight. Maybe it was after your biggest fight that you've had. Maybe it was after a disappointing anniversary, or when they forgot your anniversary. Maybe it's after you met someone else who just seemed to, I don't know, get you in a way that your spouse doesn't. Or maybe they seem to understand you in a way that you think your spouse doesn't. Now, most people would never say those words out loud. They would never say, maybe I married the wrong person. Most people wouldn't say that. But many people have thought it.
Yeah.
And so
Life gets really, really hard.
Yeah.
I think you just.
In our culture, there's this idea, there's this concept, okay? And I think it's one of the biggest lies that we absorb about marriage, and it starts long before we ever even get married. And here's the lie, the concept, right? It's called the right one myth. At least that's what we call it. The right one myth. And here's the idea that comes behind it, is that somewhere out there, there is one perfect person made just for you. We give it names like my soulmate, that missing puzzle piece, my destiny, meant for each other, happily ever after, whatever terminology you want to put on that. And if you can just find that one person, everything will naturally click into place and your marriage will work and it will succeed, and you'll end up just like all the movies that you watch.
So you want to marry Jesus? Is that...
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
It sounds romantic.
Yeah, that's not possible.
It's not even that it's not possible. It's incredibly misleading.
Yes, it is.
And so, because here's the deal. If there were only one perfect person for every other person out there, just think about that math for a second. Like some guy 400 years ago would have married the wrong woman, and then the entire chain would have been thrown off for the rest of human history. Like the statistics and probabilities of that are just off the charts, that we each have found that one person perfectly throughout all of history. That's like actually asked GPT to do the math for me.
Did you really?
Yeah. It's like 1 in 16 quintillion of a
I don't even
possibility.
know what that means.
Yeah, I don't even know what a
Quintillion?
quintillion is,
I don't either.
much less 16 of them.
Dang.
So everybody after that one idiot
yeah.
would have been marrying the wrong person simply because he chose poorly. That's obviously ridiculous.
Right.
It can't be that way, right?
Right.
But even though we laugh at it, we often live as if that myth is absolutely true. There's this one magical unicorn of a person that we have to somehow find. And so here's what happens. We get married. Things are exciting at first, as they are. Then life happens, as it does.
Right.
The bills start rolling in. The kids start popping out. The stress happens.
Yeah.
Different personalities collide. Different.
What you think was cute at one point now just gets on your ever-loving nerves, you know, those things.
Whoa, hey, this just turned into therapy.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah, those different expectations happen, all the things. Not to mention, people just change over time.
Right.
Like, are you the same person you were 10 years ago?
No.
15 years ago, 20 years ago?
Not even 5 years ago, really.
Right. Me neither.
No.
And so people just change over time. So what ends up happening is marriage gets hard. It gets difficult. And instead of thinking when that happens, oh, this is that difficult terrain that Robert and Shelly were talking about, and I guess we need to learn to navigate this new trail in our marriage, right? Like people don't think that. What they think is something's got to be wrong.
Right. Yeah.
And since I'm not the one that's wrong,
right, can be me.
Yeah, it's clearly them. And so because here's the deal, here's the myth that we believe. If it were really meant to be, it wouldn't be this difficult.
Right.
And then we start thinking maybe it's difficult because I married the wrong person. I married the wrong one.
Yeah.
Right? I didn't intend to. I didn't mean to.
Right.
But it happened. I married the wrong one. But it gets even worse. Like the backlash of believing this gets even worse. So maybe you even begin thinking at that point, if my spouse is the wrong person, then that means someone else must be the right person.
Yeah.
You see that?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that coworker that I connect with really easily is actually the right person.
Hmm.
Maybe I should look up my old boyfriend or girlfriend on Facebook. Maybe they were the right person and I missed it.
Mm.
Right? You see where this goes?
Yeah.
So listen, believing that there is one magical unicorn of a person out there in the world will only make you question your marriage.
True.
It's not going to make you work on it. It's not going to make you excel at it. So pause before before anyone's like, okay, Robert's out of his mind. I'm turning this thing off. Like before that, before you just think I'm spouting a bunch of BS, I want to be very clear here, okay? I think the term soulmate has been misused and is actually harmful if what you mean by the term soulmate is that there's this unicorn of a person out there that you have to magically find.
Right.
All right? If, however, what you mean by the term is that you're talking about someone that you choose.
Correct.
Sure. Use the term.
To share your soul with. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So I'm not just anti the word. I'm anti the incorrect use of the word.
Right. And that somebody else can complete you. So you're looking for this unicorn of a person to fulfill all your needs.
Yeah. So I would say this to all the listeners. I am happily married to Shelly.
That's good news.
That's good news. In case you were wondering.
Just saying.
Yeah. And I absolutely believe that Shelly, get this, is the right one for me. You could even say that we are soulmates, right? But do you know why Shelly is the right one for me? Do you know why Shelly is my soulmate? Because I married her. She's the one I married. She's not the right one because we discovered some mystical destiny, right? She is the right one because before God, before each other, before our family, and all of our friends, We made a covenant with each other and God
Yeah.
to be the right one with each other.
Yeah.
That's why she's the right one. And every day since then, we've been choosing to become the right one for each other.
Right.
Here's the honest truth. Had I married someone else, that someone else would have been the right one for me.
Yeah.
Had you married someone else, that someone else would have been the right one for you.
Yeah. I like it. Let me ask you, do you believe God brings people together?
You bet I do. Like, if God knew me before the creation of the world, that's what the Bible says.
Yeah.
He knew me. He not only knew me, he formed me. He crafted me.
Right.
If he knew me before the creation of the world, then that means he knew you also. And I got to believe that he knew that we would end up together.
Yeah.
And so I do believe that there is some,
There are compatibilities.
Call it what you will. There's some,
God.
there's some predestination of
Right.
marriage, if you will.
Sure. Yeah.
That God's like, yeah, I know Robert and Shelly are going to get together, and I'm going to do some amazing things through them.
Because we allow him to.
Yeah.
Because we allow to
Yeah.
choose continually over and over again.
What's sad about it is I think there are people that God knows are going to get together that could have done some really great things,
Right.
and they chose not to
They chose not to do
because
the
they
hard stuff.
didn't choose one another.
Right.
They didn't keep choosing one another. And they sort of short-circuited what God would have seen
Right.
happen.
I think so.
I think this is a much healthier way to think about marriage. In other words, don't spend your life trying to find the right one. Because think about this. What if there isn't a right one for you?
Right.
What if God has called you to singleness? So
Yeah.
now you're questioning God, do you want me to be single or have I just not found the right one?
Right.
How about this? Become the right one.
Yeah.
If you're single, become the right one. If you're dating, become the right one. If you're married, become the right one. And then day after day, keep choosing the one you already married.
Mm-hmm.
We often joke that on the day of wedding, or the day of your marriage ceremony, if God were to give you a gift, he would give you like a full-length mirror.
Yeah.
And be like, and by the way, that full-length mirror is your spouse.
Mm-hmm.
And if he put a tag on it, like a gift tag, it would say, congratulations, happy wedding day. Here's to you discovering exactly the kind of person you are.
Yuck.
Because that's
I'm
what
just kidding.
our spouses are. They
Yeah,
are
they reflect.
full-length mirrors that are showing us ourselves.
Right.
If you think about it, your spouse is you standing outside of you, looking back at you, talking to you about you.
That hurts my brain.
Do I need to say that again?
Maybe. Yeah. Your spouse.
Your spouse
Uh-huh.
is you
Yeah. Okay.
standing outside of you, looking back at you,
How long did it take you to come up with this?
talking to you about you.
That's crazy. Okay.
In other words, a mirror.
A mirror. Yeah. I can see that.
Yeah.
And here's the problem with believing there's only, the right one. If you think your happiness depends on finding the perfect person, then every conflict becomes just more evidence that maybe you did pick the wrong one.
That
You just-
confirmation bias at that
You
point.
just start, see, there's nothing.
Yep,
Yep,
there's
there's nothing.
I
Yep.
knew it.
Yep, that's true. And you're always looking for an exit. And it reminds me of standing in a line on a roller coaster and, waiting in line, getting closer and closer, your heart's pounding. You're like, oh crap, what did I do? And then right before you board, there's like that little gate, the chicken exit, which I have taken before.
Oh, yeah. You know
just
this
wanna-
for a reason.
Right. Dang. I don't really like roller coasters, but I have taken it before. And I think there's people who decide, you know what? I don't think I want to do this after all. I'm out. I don't want to do this roller coaster.
Yep.
And then they step out and they walk back to safety. Well, here's the problem. A lot of people get married with a chicken exit already in their mind.
Mhm.
Like they don't you wouldn't call it that, but that's what it is.
Yeah. If it gets hard,
right.
I can just bail.
Yeah. They don't have like divorce papers ready to go, but they have a mental escape plan. If this gets hard, I'm out.
Yeah.
If I stop feeling happy, then I'm going to go live for myself. If I meet someone else who's better, well,
they're the right one.
They're the right one. If we grow apart, I'm out. In their minds, there's always a mental exit ramp, which is really, really dangerous. And as long as that exit is available, you'll never experience the kind of security that total commitment creates. Let that sink in.
You'll never experience the kind of security and freedom.
Right. Yeah.
That total commitment actually creates.
Right. Because real commitment isn't saying, I'll stay as long as this works. And real commitment is saying, I've already decided I'm staying. So let's figure this out together. We're on the same team. When you remove the chicken exit, something incredible happens. Your energy begins to shift from looking for a way out to finding a way through. Like we're doing this.
Yeah.
So we have to figure it out together. And it just kind of removes that. I have an out.
Yeah.
Okay,
so we need to go on a little journey here. And so we need to go back and we need to talk about what we are calling the trailhead of marriage.
Okay.
Every trail begins somewhere.
Yeah.
Every trail has a trailhead. That's what you call the place that you begin the trail.
Right.
Marriage has a trailhead.
Yep.
It's a trail, it's a journey, and it starts somewhere. So we need to go back and figure out where it starts. And we believe that marriage began with God. Yeah. You may be like, what does marriage have to do with God? Listen, everything.
Yeah.
Okay. And you may be like, but I don't even believe in God. What's God got to do with my marriage? Look.
Everything. You don't even know it.
Yeah. It doesn't matter if you believe in God. It's sort of like if you were looking at a map when you were about to go on a hike and you were looking at a map and that map is printed on a piece of paper.
Yeah.
Right. And it's a flat piece of paper. Right. And it's just ink on a flat piece of paper. But yet those mountains are real.
Right.
Right. It's not a 3D piece of paper that shows the topography of the mountains. Like there's some lines on there. And you can choose to believe those lines or not believe those lines.
True.
The truth is that mountain's there and you're going to have to go up in elevation. Yeah. So it doesn't matter if you don't believe in God. God still has everything to do with your marriage because that's where it started.
He is the paper.
He is the paper. He's the 3D paper. He's those 3D puzzles, y'all.
Yeah.
So here's the trailhead of marriage, okay? Many, many years ago, God made Adam.
Yep.
He formed him out of the dust of the ground. He formed him from nature. Mm-hmm. He literally made a man from nature. And that explains in so many ways why man still loves nature. Yeah. Right? We love to hunt. We love to fish. We love to camp. We love to grill. We love to stare at fires for absolutely no reason and stretch our eyes looking at mountains and all kind of stuff. Okay. But it didn't take long for God to look at Adam and say, this is not a good thing that he is alone. Mm-hmm. Guys, you know this already. Like, how long does your wife have to be out of town before you start unraveling? Like 2 hours, 3 hours?
I just had this thought, what would have happened if he created a woman first? She's fine alone. Just kidding.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know that Adam would have rolled around anytime soon.
Anyway, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it doesn't take very long for us to just sort of lose control when our wives are gone. Like by day 2, we're eating cereal out of a mixing bowl with a fork because we don't know where anything is in the kitchen. Okay? So God creates Eve at that point. Right. And notice that he does not create Eve from the earth. He doesn't create Eve the same way he created Adam. He doesn't make her out of mud and dirt. She actually comes from Adam. That's why Adam is called man, right? And Eve, before she was called Eve, is called woman. She came from man, out of man, okay? Yep. Now, notice this. This is cool.
All right.
Before Adam was made, God's greatest creation masterpiece up to that point was the earth. It was creation, right? It was trees, it was plants, it was, the ocean, it was creation itself. And so he forms Adam out of his greatest creation up until that point. And at that point, God's greatest masterpiece was Adam. So he forms Eve. And he doesn't go back to creation because he's already created something better, and that is Adam, man. Yeah. And so mankind at that point was God's greatest masterpiece of creation. And that's what he goes to when he creates Eve. And if that's just not proof right there, black and white, that women are better than men, I don't know what is. Okay. Like you see the progression. There's like creation, which is great, right? And then there's man. Oh, that's better.
Yeah.
And then there's woman. That's even better, right? So, side note, God did not make Eve so that she would cook for Adam.
Yeah.
That's not the main point of that whole thing. Not that she could do the dishes. Right. He created her as this is what the Hebrew term says, a helper. Right. Different translations may say help mate or help meet. It literally, the word itself in Hebrew is used elsewhere in the Bible, and it literally means shield. Isn't that interesting?
Cool. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. So it doesn't mean that she was to do all the things that Adam didn't want to do. Yeah. That's not what helper means. What it means is she was to excel in all the ways that Adam could not and ever would not excel. Yeah. A perfect companion, not to help him accomplish his will, but to together accomplish. Even from this is what people don't understand. Even from the very beginning of the Bible, there's an equality that God is highlighting between men and women. Now, culture and society had not caught up, and they wouldn't catch up for a very, very, very long time.
Trying.
Right? But from the beginning, God sort of put that in place. And so the only thing that Adam knew up until Eve was creation. He knew trees and plants and everything, and animals. Yeah. God had given him the task of naming all the animals.
That's probably the worst day of his life.
Which is funny, So Adam is all alone. God makes Eve. And listen what Adam says when he sees Eve for the first time. Now remember, don't forget, clothes have not been invented yet.
This is true.
Eve did not go to Target.
Oh, Lord, she wouldn't do that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Eve shows up. Here's Adam. All he knows is creation, birds, animals, deer, pigs, hippopotamus, hippopotami. I don't know what the plural of that is. It's all he knows. Okay. Eve shows up. And it's interesting, if you read your Bible in Genesis chapter 2, the justification of the wording even changes, as if to illustrate this is a different type of writing. He goes into basically a song. It's a poetry at this point. In Genesis chapter 2, verse 23, Adam says this is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. In other words, he's like, whoa, baby. That is different than all those other things.
Yeah.
Dibs. I got to get me some of that.
All right, we're done.
Right?
I'm just kidding.
That's literally.
Yeah.
I mean, what he's saying.
I mean, could you imagine staring at a pig all day and a cow and then seeing a woman? You're like, oh.
A naked woman.
Yeah, this is different.
That'd be different.
That'd be very different.
Yeah. That did something to him that those pigs did not do. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying.
Thank goodness.
I mean, men have been men since the beginning. So I know what that did for Adam.
Yeah.
So you still tracking with me?
Yeah.
Okay. The very next verse, here's what it says. That is why a man leaves his father and mother and is united to his wife, and they become one flesh. That's Genesis chapter 2, verse 24.
So the next verse.
The very next verse. Well, here's the deal. Maybe you've heard that verse before at weddings.
Yeah. Somebody
will say that, right? The two becoming one. At that point, Adam and Eve, they were married. Okay. They didn't rent out barns and event centers. back then and have a big ceremony, okay? That it says a man leaves his father and his mother. Adam and Eve did not have a father and a mother.
No.
Isn't that a weird thing to say to someone who does not have a father and a mother?
Yeah.
Which means that God is not really talking to Adam and Eve in that moment, is he? He's talking to who? He's talking to us.
Yeah.
And everyone who would come after Adam and Eve, right?
Yeah.
So I think we need to understand this concept, honestly, way more in our culture. We got a lot of people getting married who are not leaving the umbrella of their parents.
What do you mean?
What I mean is, it doesn't say a man shall abandon his father and mother and be united to his wife. It doesn't say that. But it does say leave, okay? And leave your parents, meaning your spouse should become your new primary human relationship in your life.
Yeah.
You are leaving the umbrella of your parents when you get married to your spouse. So just, real practically here, men, if you're listening to this, if you want to kill your marriage quickly, do this. Let your mom get the deciding vote of what happens in your marriage.
Yikes.
You'll kill it. You'll kill it so fast, it'll whip your head.
Yeah.
Right? Women,
Yeah.
if you want to have a very short marriage, then allow your dad's opinion to carry more weight than your new husband's opinion.
Yeah, that won't last very long.
Listen, I know I just stepped on a bunch of toes.
Yeah.
But this happens all the time. Like, wives are effectively castrating their husbands because they're going back to their dad to do everything.
Yeah.
Look, your dad's potentially better at all the things than your new husband. That's a thing that can happen.
But your husband's also very young, probably.
Yeah.
If you're married younger and your dad's a lot older, has a lot more experience.
And your dad didn't know that stuff when he was 20.
Right.
Right? It took him 30 more years to figure that out. So, marriage creates a brand new family.
Yes.
I hear parents all the time say, like, for example, when their daughter gets married, they'll say, we gained a new son. Listen, no, you didn't. You lost a daughter.
Yeah.
I'm just going to let that sit out there because I know I just offended somebody.
So can I tell you a video I saw the other day?
Yeah.
It was, and you may have seen this, it was a mom convincing, she's on social media, convincing like, it's okay, even though my kids are grown and they have their own spouses, we still go on a family vacation without the other spouses, just their family unit. I was like, yeah, how that's appropriate and it's a good thing to do. They're married, that's great, but we still go on our own family vacations. I was like, that's so dysfunctional.
That is a way of doing it.
You must be a joy to live with and be a mother-in-law. That's crazy.
That is crazy. I want to go back to what I just said.
Yeah.
Look, I get it, right? Like, if your daughter got married, she's still your daughter, right? I get it. I understand that. What I'm saying is, positionally, she is not under you anymore.
No.
She has a husband.
Right.
And that husband is her new primary immediate family. Yes. You have just become the extended family.
We are the extended family.
Yeah. I know it may sound mean, it may sound harsh, but when two people get married, they are creating a new and separate family. Yeah. And as long as mother-in-law or dad or whoever it is tries to chip away at that, you are only going to harm that marriage. Yeah. So then it says this. So it says a man shall leave his father and mother and be united to his wife. Mm-hmm. Some translations might read the man will hold fast to his wife. That Hebrew word, united or hold fast, it carries the idea of clinging, sticking, and adhering. Now, what does that sound like? Like, what in our world clings, sticks, and adheres?
Glue.
Glue. Yeah.
Double-sided tape.
Yeah. You know what doesn't do all those things?
No.
Velcro.
Oh.
Velcro may cling, right? It may stick. It does not adhere.
Oh, yeah.
And here's the deal. Listen, we got a lot of marriages out there being held together with Velcro and not glue.
Like super glue, the Gorilla Glue. That's a big difference because, yeah, I mean, Velcro could just come apart.
Yeah. Velcro will stick. It will cling to one another.
Yeah.
It will not adhere. You can get those things apart.
Right.
And each individual piece still looks the same as when it got put together. But listen, you Gorilla Glue 2 pieces of paper together and pull those pieces of paper apart, which one of those pieces of paper is going to get affected?
Both.
Both of them.
They tore up.
Yeah. That paper is going to be unrecognizable.
Yeah.
And this is why divorce hurts so much.
Yeah.
Because when a man leaves his father and mother and is united,
Yeah.
cling to, stuck to, adhered to his wife, that is literally what happens positionally, emotionally, spiritually, all the ways. That's what happens.
It kind of, I think we've showed this at church and through some marriage conferences, but we have this really ugly Tupperware bowl. It's plastic. Used to be kind of clear.
We've got more than one.
That's true. We have more than one. But we have this particular one. We've saved it.
Yeah.
Because I guess I had to put like chili in or something. I didn't think twice about
chili
this.
or spaghetti or something.
And heated it up in the microwave the next day.
Yeah.
And the two became one. It is forever red. And I have bleached it. I have done everything possible to get the stain off.
Yeah.
No, it's not coming off.
It's not only red, it's like the plastic is etched.
Yes. It's like, I don't know what happened, but
Yeah.
it became, they are one.
Exactly.
For the rest of their lives.
The bowl and
The bowl.
that chili were two.
Now they are
and
one.
they became one.
Yes. It's
Yeah.
kind of crazy.
Absolutely. So also, we see that from the very beginning, Adam and Eve, they had jobs. They had roles. They had responsibilities. Adam was to work the land. He was to protect. He was to provide. He was to lead, right?
Yeah.
Eve, she was to nurture. She was to support. That means uplift. She was to shield. She was to excel in all the ways that Adam could not excel.
Yeah.
She would be called the mother of all living. In fact, she was called the mother of all living long before she ever had a kid.
Yeah.
Right. So we see these roles and responsibilities from Adam and Eve. And by the way, that's not saying that women shouldn't work, okay, or that men can't be shields for their wife. Like we are each able to do different roles. Just know that when we operate out of some of those natural roles that God has called us to, it's just going to require a different amount of energy and effort.
And just, grace. And
yeah,
it's just going to be it's just different.
It's just different. Right.
Yeah.
So up till now, marriage was relatively easy. Like it was basically the honeymoon phase, 24/7, man. Adam and Eve, they had it nice.
Yeah.
Right. Like every time Adam came home from a hard day's work, Eve was standing there and all she had was a beer and no clothes on. Right. Because remember, clothes still weren't invented.
But beer was?
I'm taking some liberties here. Okay.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah. It was an early strain. Yeah.
Okay.
Every time Eve walked in the house, Adam had already folded the laundry and he just wanted to cuddle without any expectation of sex.
Oh my gosh.
It was great. Like marriage was perfect.
That's hilarious.
And then something happened.
Yes, it did.
Sin, what we call sin, the thing that separates us from God originally, not including the payment that Jesus paid for us on the cross, the thing that separates us from God, it happened. It entered the world, right? We call this the fall of mankind. And when the fall happens, it fractures everything, including marriage.
Yeah.
Everything that was right and good got flipped literally upside down and backwards. And now everything that should be easy became hard, and everything that should be hard, hard to do actually became easy to do. And that's not a good thing. That's a bad thing.
Mm.
So here's what you need to see. So Adam, before the fall, and Eve before the fall, like their roles and responsibilities did not change before or after the fall. they were still called to do the things that God had called them to do.
Yeah.
The difference was this. Adam was still called to work the land, except now it was going to be very difficult. He was going to have to deal with rocks in the soil and by the sweat of his brow. And so things that should have been the most natural and life-giving to him was now going to be very difficult and frustrating for him to do. He's still called to do it, but now it's going to be really difficult. Eve, she was still expected to be the mother of all living, but now having kids would be difficult and painful.
Can we just say what a horrible, horrible... I still, God and I need to have a talk.
Yeah. Well, here's the deal. Painful in not only childbirth, yes, but also in the raising of those children.
It's all difficult.
It's painful, right?
Yes.
The pain of childbirth does not end when the child is born.
Yeah.
I hope you out there, you know that.
That's just the beginning of the pain.
Yeah. So further, those curses on Adam and Eve have even been passed down to us.
Yeah.
So we have a sin nature in us simply because sin entered the world, and everyone who was born after that, everyone that ever was had a belly button, in other words, has a sin nature. Adam and Eve didn't have belly buttons.
This is true.
I mean, I say they don't. I don't know. Why would they?
They shouldn't.
They shouldn't have.
Yeah.
But maybe, I don't know. That's beyond my pay grade.
Yeah.
Here's what I want you to see. You got to keep going with me here, people. Okay. This is what I want you to see. This right here is why your marriage is so hard.
Yep.
You're like, wait, what? Like that, what happened way back then is why my marriage is difficult? Yes, absolutely. And this is why sometimes you may have the thoughts and wonder if you married the wrong one. Your marriage was not created in the beauty and the perfection of the Garden of Eden.
Right.
Your marriage was formed in a world at war.
Yep.
And you are deeply broken because of sin nature. And your spouse is deeply broken because of their sin nature. And when you put two deeply broken people, and when they get married and they move into the same room, there is no such thing as happily ever after.
Nope.
You still tracking?
Yeah, I am.
All right. So that was the beginning of the Bible, right? That was Old Testament, all the way to the left, right? Let's fast forward over to the right side.
Okay.
New Testament. A lot of time has passed. Jesus is now here on the earth. And this time, or at this time, divorce was very common. Turns out marriage has been difficult from the beginning, right? So marriage is marriage is common, and divorce is also common. Further, people sort of came down on different sides of divorce at this time, which they still do today. Some people thought that you could get a divorce only in the case of adultery.
Yep.
And other people thought, no, you can get a divorce pretty much for any reason, like even if your wife burned dinner.
But she couldn't divorce. He could only divorce.
Correct?
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you found your wife unattractive,
that's crazy.
You could divorce her. The man could divorce her, like you said. She did not have the rights and the equality to be able to do that then.
Right.
Anyway, so the religious leaders one day, they wanted to trap Jesus and question him about marriage because, listen, they even knew this was a hard topic. They even knew that we believe this, but we also believe this, and those things aren't really like one another. And so let's see what Jesus has to say about it. And so in Matthew chapter 19, verses 3-5, they ask Jesus this. They say, is it lawful for a man to divorce his wife for any and every reason? Because that was a thought. That was one of the prevailing
if you can
thoughts.
Divorce your wife for burning your dinner. Yeah.
And here, and here was the trap. The trap was if he said yes, then they would say, why do you disagree with Moses? And if he said no, they would say, well, why do you disagree with God and tradition? So they thought they were going to trap him. He doesn't take the bait, obviously. Here's what he says. Haven't you read that in the beginning, the Creator made them male and female, he said. And then he said, for this reason, a man will leave his father and mother and be united to his wife, and the two will become one flesh. Sound familiar?
Yeah.
Jesus literally answers their question by quoting Genesis chapter 2.
Yep.
And so then they ask, well, how come Moses tells us that we can get divorced if it's needed, right? Like if it's necessary, that he says we can, have a certificate of divorce or whatever. And Jesus answers them and he's like, because you're sinful,
Yeah.
because you have sin, and sin makes your hard heart, and your hard hearts don't do what God wants you to do. Right? You're not submitting to one another. Divorce, in other words, he says, is not God's design, and your sin has corrupted God's design.
Yeah.
So he goes all the way back to the beginning and supports that. Okay. You there?
Yeah.
Let's fast forward just a little bit.
Okay.
Right? Several years later, after Jesus' death and resurrection, the Apostle Paul, who was a church planner, he's writing to the church in Ephesus, or the churches in Ephesus, about submitting to one another. He's trying to get the point across. Hey, you guys need to submit to one another.
Yeah.
And then he says this, as if to say, hey, since we're on the topic of submission, let me say this. Ephesians chapter 5, verse 31 and 32. Verse 31 says this, for this reason, a man will leave his father and mother and be united to his wife, and the two will become one flesh. Sound familiar?
Ding, 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 ding.
Back to Genesis 2 again. And then he says this in verse 32. This is a profound mystery, but I'm talking about Christ and the church. So he's saying, look, guys, I got a mystery for you. Okay. I got a conundrum for you. And then he takes the verse in Genesis 2. And then he says, what happens in marriage is exactly like the relationship between Christ and his church. So he takes what God says about marriage, and then he says that is what it looks like for Christ to love his church. So here's what this means. In God's desire to illustrate the relationship between Jesus Christ and the church, that is us, he chooses marriage as the illustration. He could have chosen anything. He could have used any analogy. He could have said, marriage is like the sun. It rises on one side and it sets on, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He could have used the tide as an example. He could have used a baby being born, chirping birds, literally anything. Creation was at his disposal for analogies, and he chooses marriage to illustrate that. But why? Think about that. Why did he choose marriage? I think it's because it shows us this, that Christ didn't wait until we were worthy of his love for coming to us.
Yeah.
He loved us first, and that's what we ought to do in marriage.
Not wait for the other one to.
No, he sacrificed for us first.
Right.
That's what we should do in marriage. He pursued us first. That's what we should do in marriage. Why? Because that's covenant love. Covenant love does not begin after someone starts to deserve it. Yeah. That's not covenant love.
No, that's a contract.
That's a contract.
Yeah.
If you do your part, then I will do mine. If you don't do your part, then I'm not obligated to do mine.
That's laziness too.
That's sick, y'all. Covenant love makes a promise to love before it knows the outcome.
Preach.
So let me wrap this all up.
Okay.
If you are married, and if you're listening to this, we're assuming that you are or want to be or something like that, then you are married to the right one. If you are married, you are married to the right one. Your wedding day ended the search for the right one.
Yeah.
So now your calling is to spend the rest of your life loving that person with the same steadfast, sacrificial, covenant love that Christ has shown you.
And it's not easy, folks. So, and like you're saying, we have an enemy who wants to destroy everything that looks, smells, and acts like God. So he's coming after your marriage.
He's coming after it.
Like, I know several couples who, man, once they got married, things just got really difficult. And I'm like, well, yeah, that's because Satan is after your marriage.
Yeah.
Like he just wants to destroy it. So, all right. So here's a little summit challenge. First, remove the chicken exit. This week, pay attention to your language. Do you joke about divorce? Do you threaten to leave often? Or like when things get difficult, do you physically leave the house? Do you mentally compare your spouse to someone else? Every one of those little things are chicken exits. We need you to close the exits. God needs you to close the exits. Replace any thoughts like these with a new sentence. I'm not going anywhere. We are on the same team and we're going to figure this out.
Yeah. You are the right one.
You are the right one.
Yeah.
We are on the same team. We're on the same side. We're going to figure this out together. Because as long as divorce is a weapon, one of you will use it when you're backed into a corner.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. So second, stop asking, did I marry the right one? Instead, am I becoming the right one?
Right.
Then, before the week is over, sit down with your spouse and ask, how can I make it easier to be married to me? Holy cow. What a question. How can I make it easier for you to be married to me?
Yeah.
How can I love you better?
Yeah. What's it
Those
like to be on the other side of me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Man, those are great questions. But here's the second part. Listen without defending yourself. Like if you're asking the question and they start telling you the truth and immediately you start defending, you totally just shut them down.
Yeah.
They're not, even if you went back and tried to ask again, they're not going to tell you. So do not get defending yourself. Then they end the conversation, just, I choose you today, and tomorrow I will choose you again. At the end of the conversation, I choose you today, and tomorrow I'm going to choose you again.
There's so much freedom in that. There's so much joy in that. There's so much safety and security in that.
Yeah.
To know that that's where your spouse is, and that's where their mind is, and that's where their heart is. And I would just add one more quick thing. Like if you have been keeping that chicken exit open, and you've been throwing around the word divorce in the middle of an argument, like a flashbang in a house or a grenade, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you've used it as leverage, if you've used it to scare your spouse,
Oh gosh. Yeah.
listen, you've used it just to shut the conversation down because you're tired and you don't want to talk anymore. And you know, if you use that word, that'll shut it down.
That's horrible.
Some of y'all out there know exactly what I'm talking about. Like if that's you, and if you've done that, here's what you need to do. Humble yourself.
Yeah.
Go to your spouse and ask for forgiveness.
Yes.
And say something like this. Look, I'm sorry for making you question the security of our marriage.
Yeah.
And I don't want to weaponize the word divorce. And I want you to know that I'm committed to us, and I want to fight for our marriage, not against it.
Yes.
You want to be a man? You do that. You want to be a woman? You do that.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Crazy. And maybe this is all kind of new to you and you might need help navigating some of this. We certainly know that that's a challenge. Guys, we're here to help. We provide marriage counseling. We have some great assessments that help pinpoint both your strengths and growth areas of your relationship. So just reach out to us. You can learn more at marriagebasecamp.com. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thanks for listening to today's podcast. Hopefully you learned a little bit about marriage and the trailhead and where it came from and what God intended and how you and your spouse can grow and begin to experience the greatest marriage ever. And so we hope to see you guys next time. Bye.
Welcome to the Base Channel. From Genesis to Revelation, His love is the guide. Every vow, every moment, we lay down our pride. His mercy's the melody, our heart's the refrain. Through sunshine and shadow, our love will remain. This holy matrimony, love wrapped in grace. Honesty the cornerstone, openness embrace. Transparency's the power to make it through. Christ in the center, making all things new.